morning. You rocking out with me? Yes, it is Wednesday. It is October 16th. We are home doing the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams show. And we're going to do a little something different today. We're going to go from here, if it'll work with us, all the way to Sicily, Italy. Now, I know it might be a little bit difficult with Wi-Fi, etc., but we're going to check in on one of our staff members who is in Italy, Michelle Harman. She's been signing on back and forth before we went on the air, so we're hoping that it will work. I've got some beautiful pictures of what she's been experiencing, got a video that we're going to show here in just a second, but I want to talk about traveling with your mom, traveling with your dad. I love the bond of parent-child traveling together, especially as your parents get older, and then do they get together with big groups of friends, etc. We'll discuss that for you coming up in just a bit. We'll also talk about traveling with groups and how hard it is to keep everybody happy, keep everybody together. You know, if there's any travel agents that sign on, let us know just how difficult it is for you to plan all that. And I'm going to tell you about something that we have coming up that's going to come in 2025 that you will get an opportunity to be a part of. Many of you signed in yesterday and said that you wanted to do more retreats with our brand, and that is absolutely going to happen here locally and traveling with us, whether it's throughout the United States or in other countries. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Tuning in this morning and finding out that it is really, really cold. That's what a lot of you have been saying over the last 24 hours on social media. I hear you. It was quite a wake-up call. I stepped by yesterday and went to Just Pools, which I'll talk about in just a second. They are 100% transitioning from pool season into spa, hot tub season, and just the perfect time to do so because it is so unbelievably cold this morning. Look at this. Here's our forecast today. We've got that freeze warning in effect. Some of you dealing with frost, some of you dealing with freezing. 61 will be for our high. So we are going to rebound from this, but a lot of you are waking up in the 30s. 39 for the low tonight, and we go into tomorrow. It will be 69. But look at the weekend and into next week. It's actually getting a lot nicer. 72, 74, 76 by Sunday, and that's when you finally see even a little cloud come back in. Otherwise, sunshine across the board for the next 4 days. Absolutely beautiful. And then we get into next week. Finally, and I mean the longest stretch I've ever seen of no rain, we finally have a slight chance of rain on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week with highs in the upper 70s all the way through Friday going into the next weekend. But the lows, again, you're just going to have to get through tonight, to last night and tonight, where we're in those 30s. So yeah, kind of a wake-up call for a lot of people. Okay, staying with that theme. Look at this, staying with that theme, a La Nina winter coming. Yep, here's what weather to expect in the coming months. Are you ready for it? Winter's not here yet. However, climate experts are already predicting that this year will feel a lot different than last year's season. That's because La Nina is expected to dominate. The climate pattern is marked by cooler than average ocean temperatures that could bring more precipitation than normal in some parts of the country. More precipitation now. It doesn't guarantee there will be more snow, but how many of you agree with me on this? I do not want ice. I would take snow over ice any day. The season's expected to be warmer than normal across the southern half of the U.S. and much of the East Coast. That means some winter storms could end up bringing them more rain than snow. Meanwhile, that combo of wetter and cooler than normal conditions could mean more snow for the Pacific Northwest. And according to the Climate Prediction Center, La Nina will likely develop by November. Now, once it arrives, it will likely persist into early spring of next year. So we're talking about wetter conditions. I'm just hoping, again, that it doesn't turn into ice. A heads up for any of you that are traveling and you're coming over from Illinois into Missouri or from Missouri into Illinois. Have you heard about the big warehouse fire that firefighters were worried again about the visibility aspect? That's why they closed down the Stay Unusual Veterans Memorial Bridge, a very popular thoroughfare between Illinois and Missouri. And what that's doing is forcing everybody else onto the Poplar Street Bridge, maybe the Martin Luther King Bridge, using the JB Bridge, any bridge you can use to go over from Missouri to Illinois. But if you know someone that's traveling from other states coming into or going out of Missouri from that Missouri-Illinois corridor, the Stam Musial Veterans Memorial Bridge is still closed down because of that abandoned warehouse fire that broke out on Monday about 12:30 in the afternoon. You can still see some smoke, but here's the good positive news of this. They are definitely in the wrap up of it because now they're just putting out hot spots. It's not billowing smoke or all the flames like we showed you yesterday. It's right near the intersection of Broadway and Malamphy where that vacant house fire was. And again, a lot of people wondering what caused it. Well, according to the owner of the building, he's saying that he has seen a lot in the last several months. There have been homeless people that have been going in there. There's also been people that have gone in and stole copper wires. We see a lot of that, unfortunately, in the news recently. Don't know. They'll continue the investigation and let us know. But just a heads up, again, if you are traveling, that is still closed down and no word right now when it will reopen. All right. More than 300 products, part of a massive meat recall, sold at Walmart, Target, Trader Joe's, and a lot more. So, ready to eat meat and poultry products have been recalled due to the possible listeria contamination. Why are we hearing so much about this? Listeria, several stories that I've done over the last several months, right? Doesn't it make you scratch your head? The USDA is warning people about additional ready to eat meat and poultry products that have been recalled. Last week, they released additional images of these items that are part of the recall and includes more than 300 items from many popular brands sold at major retailers, sold at 7-Eleven, okay, Trader Joe's, Walmart, Target, Kroger. Those are in our areas. HEB, Meyer, let's see, Wegmans. It covers numerous items sold under popular brands as Dole, Market Side, Atkins, Great Value, Good and Gather, Fresh Express, and many others. Produced from June 19th of this year to October 8th and shipped to distributors nationwide. The meat, by the way, was produced by Bruce Pack. So look in your freezers right now or your refrigerators. It's a food company that was located in Durant, Oklahoma. The original recall was announced Wednesday. Additional products added to the list yesterday. The products, by the way, subject to recall, bear establishment numbers 51205 or P 51205 inside or under the USDA mark of inspection. The problem was discovered after officials performed routine testing of the meat. Now, this could cause really serious problems. I told you just about a month or so ago that our cousin in Birmingham had this and she was violently ill. So this is not something to take lightly, folks. Again, look deeper into this. All right, wah, wah. The Blues opened the season at home yesterday and they lost, unfortunately. Minnesota Wild 4-1 was the final score. The Blues will take on the Islanders tomorrow. The puck will drop at 7 p.m. And how about this, parents? The Magic House. Can you believe this? The Magic House celebrating 45 years. If you go today, they're going to go back in time for pricing. Kids get in for $1, adults get in for $2, and you all know how much you love that button where your crazy hair, right? All those things. If anybody comes in with those old school buttons that we used to get when you would go to that little exhibit, they want you to bring those by. They've got a lot of special things planned, but 45 years. For those of you that are outside of our area and you're traveling into St. Louis, highly recommend that you go to the Magic House. You will have a blast with the entire family. All right, before we get into talking about travel today, I want to wish a very happy birthday to my Buffalo. Why do we call her the Buffalo? Because in a text, she called me her best friend. I wrote back, thought it said best friend, and it changed it to Buffalo. So Dot Fleshman, you know her, you love her. She has been on our Friendship Fridays as well as talking about real estate. It's her birthday today. And then the very next day, it's the love of her life's birthday. So happy birthday to the both of you this week. Dot and Ron Fleshman, I love you dearly. Have an incredible time. It is 7:10, and we'll welcome all of you that are just tuning in. You want to talk a little bit about travel with us today? Do you travel with friends, family? Do you travel with parents? Do you have a good time? Do you come back exhausted? Do you feel like you need a vacation from your vacation? Do you travel with groups? Are you a travel agent? And you're like, oh my gosh, planning for a huge group is so hard. Well, we're going to talk about all of that. And we're going to go from this country to another one I just mentioned. We're going to go from St. Louis to Italy. You want to do that with me? Let's do it. And let's check in with this beautiful lady.
I'm at as far as I could possibly go in the short amount of time. I'm at Mount Etna in Sicily. It's absolutely stunning, beautiful. It was a 25-minute vertical height to hike up here. It was, whew, lava rocks are really slippery, but as you can see, I'm not at the top, but this was pretty amazing to do this. Apparently there was an eruption here just 10 days ago, but even from our hotel in Taormina, you could see it smoking. It's constantly churning steam and smoke, but this is truly incredible. The rest of my tour group decided to stay below and do the rim of that crater. I decided to get in a workout. So, love you all. Buongiorno. Ciao.
All right, we're going to talk to her live, and it's crazy, right, that we're talking about billowing smoke here and affecting one of our bridges, and we'll talk to her about that and what she's all had an opportunity to do over the last several days and what's still on tap before she wraps up and comes back home. We will, again, visit live with Michelle Harman in Sicily, Italy, when we return. We are live on location, and this is the really cool thing. This is exactly what we can do from your business. We call it Mobile Monica. You know, I'm always on the move. Everyone knows about Jody's balls, and why is that?
I have the best ball.
Oh my God. You enjoying this?
Always.
Watch this, I gotta move with her.
Orange Theory is created to help people live a more vibrant life.
When we tell you that they have some of the most beautiful sunsets, we mean it. We're now in the brainchild of Adventure Unknown. That thing
Well, you've got a heck of a
beautiful.
story behind that leopard,
I
too.
know.
It's going to be a very dangerous shoot right now.
It'll be
She says it
fabulous.
is. Monica or Mez Adams. How's that
Yes,
sound?
that sounds great.
This is Marianne Graff, owner of Just Be Kind Coffee House and Cafe. And you can see all the people in line. Oh, that handsome gentleman is... That would be my husband, Jim.
My mission statement says I want people to feel better leaving than when they came in.
And you do. Again, no calories when you're spreading kindness.
No calories when you're spreading kindness, especially if it's on the weekend.
No idea what you're saying on the camera right now.
And welcome back. I just showed Marianne and Patrick, and we talked about it the other day, that the two of them got married. So it's no longer Marianne Graff. It's now Marianne and Patrick Clark. You missed their wedding, but she said, hey, I'm going to Sicily. And you, from what I understand, Michelle Harman's in Sicily, Italy. A lot of you know her from our show. You sent her a video that morning. Is that correct? To congratulate her?
Yes, we were hiking that morning. I was wearing my Just Be Kind t-shirt, and Kelly and I sent her a message when we were hiking in the morning, wishing them a happy wedding day.
It was fantastic. There's exude positive energy, obviously, with Just Be Kind Cafe. So we absolutely love that. All right, we're going to talk about travel today. So you've got some pictures that you sent to our team, and we just showed that video. So have you been hiking every day? I know you love to hike.
Yes, so we're in the center of Taormina, and there's little side streets and little cafes. And at 7 in the morning, my friend Kelly and I have been getting in some hiking before we get on the bus to do our daily tours. And today we actually tackled a route called Villa Cruces, which is 541 steps up to the top, where there is an old castle. And along the way, there are these beautiful statues that depict the stages of the cross.
Oh,
So we were going up, we were seeing the different stations of the cross.
very pretty.
That was quite a workout this morning. Kelly got great pictures. I forgot my phone back at the
Well, Michelle was saying that she got in about 10,000 steps a day. Is that correct?
19.
19?
19,000.
Holy cow. Yeah. So a lot of people talk about when you go and you travel to Europe that you come back and you lose weight instead of gaining weight. People think, oh my gosh, all the pasta, all the drinking, the bread, you're going to gain weight, but you're constantly moving. So you say, heck no, I'm going to be tinier.
And when you think about it, the food here is extremely fresh.
Yeah.
They put all the preservatives and chemicals and everything that we do in the US. So even though we're having pastas, it's like the real deal. It's not garbage. So we've been eating really some fantastic stuffed peppers and mushrooms and pastas, and I'm eating bread. I'm eating bread every day. I
You're like,
love
I'm going to eat the bread here when I'm not going back home and eating it.
the bread, and I feel like I have lost weight.
Oh, amazing. Again, a lot of moving, seeing a lot of things. So she sent me this picture, and Michelle and I, with our husbands many years back, went to Puerto Rico. When she sent me this picture, I was like, you look like you're in Puerto Rico. You said these are everywhere?
Everywhere, and it's kind of a matter of functionality. It really shades the side streets very nicely, so it's beautiful and it's functional. So as you're walking through it, you're very cool because the sun is hot down here.
Well, so what is the temperature there right now?
I would say it's probably 77 today,
Okay.
but it's been beautiful, very consistent in that weather.
And what does it get down to? What's the lows?
I'd say the low is probably 61, 62. We've had our balcony door open at night.
How pretty. Yeah, because she sent a picture and I'm like, she's in a swimsuit.
So that is this beautiful island that is just off of Taormina, and it's called Isola Bella. And it used to be owned by some, I don't know, baroness or something way back in the day. And so there's a house on top of it. But to get out to it, you have to walk through the ocean. Actually, it's the Ionic Sea, and it's not sandy. It is rocks. So you're walking on rocks, but you're up to about your calf, depending on the tide, up to your knee to walk out to this island. And it's not a lounging beach down here, not in this vicinity.
Yeah.
We're talking like big rocks like this, and then the sand is like small rocks. So it's really rough on your feet. So if you don't have water shoes, we were barefoot.
Oh.
And the water, Kelly and I both wanted to get in the water. The rocks are really slimy, so it's kind of treacherous. But the water was so refreshing. It was beautiful. It was actually warmer than our pool here at the hotel.
If you're just tuning in, this is Michelle Harman. She's part of our team. Hopefully you've seen her in the past, or if you're new to the show, just introducing you to her. And one of the things we always talk about is that we can take this show anywhere, as long as we have a good Wi-Fi. So in Sicily, Italy to St. Louis, Missouri, we're visiting together. I pulled a really pretty backdrop of Sicily to be behind us throughout this, but we're showing pictures as well. I know you're very big, like my husband, into history and to just the architecture of things. So I've got a couple of pictures that you provided to us. Are these churches, or what am I looking at here?
So that is the Church of the Black Madonna. We did that yesterday, and that was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. That was located in Tindari.
Okay.
So that was a little bit of a drive for us. That was about an hour and a half drive for us to get there.
Fantastic. One of the things that my brother and sister-in-law, they just got back from Germany, and they said they always love to go and visit castles and churches because you just are in awe of the architecture. You agree with that?
Definitely. Syracuse was our fourth day, and you know me, I'm really big into archaeology and digs.
Yep.
And so through both a Greek and Roman ruins of theaters. So we got to see where they used to do animal sacrifices, and they used to have like the gladiators. So that was really, really cool. And what they did was they added these amazing, more modern, early 20th century sculptures throughout. So yeah, that's actually just on the edge of Taormina. That was one of the, I think that might have been the Roman theater, but beautiful view. I mean, the sky was just gorgeous, but a beautiful view from up high. That's actually on the back side of our hotel, on the other side of the town of Taormina.
Well, we're going to Italy, but we're going to a different area in just a few weeks. And Jim just said that one of the things he's looking forward to doing is seeing all these really small, everything you see in the movies, all these really small alleys, walking through the different areas of town, and then going to all these incredible little cafes and eating, again, as you said, incredibly fresh meals that they're cooking that day. They're using fresh ingredients, from that day, and you're not dealing with the preservatives. I mean, you remember the show we just recently did talking about how people who have gluten sensitivities or celiac, that they can go to Europe and they can eat bread all over again. And it's just like, if that's not a wake-up call of what we're doing here in the U.S., wrong, right? It's ridiculous.
Very, very true. We actually went our fifth day, we went to Cantonia, after we went through, went up to Mount Etna and open air market. And it's interesting because they have all of their meats and fish out in the open. There is no refrigeration. They have them on ice and they come in fresh. They cut it right there in front of you and you take it home and cook it that evening. So it's completely bizarre. Like you would think, oh my gosh, I'm not going to eat that. It's got to be spoiled. No, it is fresh every single day. Everybody comes, they buy their food for that day, they eat it, and then they go out. It's kind of a social aspect of it too. They go out and they hit the market, and the whole process keeps happening over and over again. They just cook day by day. The refrigerators are really, really tiny, but out in the open air markets, there's no refrigeration.
Unbelievable. Again, just, it blows your mind. So here we're talking about traveling today. So now you can start weighing in for us. Do you travel outside of the US? Or are you getting back into the hang of it? Because a lot of travel stopped around the pandemic and it was slowly coming back. Julie Fabian just said, sounds so cool. Carrie said, good morning. Sounds awesome, Michelle. And she said, love the cute short haircut. There you go. Let's see. What? What did you say? Oh. Linda, just got back from my trip to France. That's right. Saw lots of amazing cathedrals, visited a few chateaus, Normandy beaches, Palace of Versailles, the Loire Valley, the Louvre, all amazing. And yes, we walked a lot, a couple of days. Same thing, 19,000 steps. Great food, lots of wine. I lost 2 pounds. Our weather wasn't the best, though. We experienced lots of rain, but made the best of it. Well, enjoy the weather you're having right now. Actually, when you come back, you're going to have pretty weather, but it's cold here this morning. It's a wake-up call to the system for sure.
No, I'm not ready for that.
Right? And it's just this drastic change, but only for 2 days. I went in to see Madonna and they got a bunch of hot tubs, by the way. She's like, tell Michelle the hot tubs are in. I'm like, all right, I'll show her those. We're going to take a quick break. We'll actually talk about that here in just a second. We're going to take a quick break. I want to hear how it is traveling with a large group because that's not something I've ever done. Trying to wrangle everybody together. Not just that, a lot of people talk about making everybody happy, right? You've got so many people with so many different likes and so many things that they want to do of how to keep that all together and keep everybody happy. So we're going to talk more with Michelle visiting in Sicily, Italy when we return.
We're at the Vault Luxury Resale in Brentwood. And I think this is going to be a very dangerous shoot, Diana.
It'll be
fabulous.
She says it is. We do costume jewelry. It's everything women want. Sometimes I want to grab a Kendra Scott earring or just a fun, untrend earring. But other times I want David Yurman, John Hardy, Tiffany. So we also have that.
Some beautiful costume jewelry, some really gorgeous high-end jewelry.
Yes. We have phenomenal cowboy boots. We have, Paige, Mother, all designer denim.
Luxury resale, not at the luxury price.
We, have every kind of high-end handbag. Whew. And everything from Bottega, Louis Vuitton, tons of Gucci, Chanel. We not only deal with people in St. Louis, we deal with, a lot of people in New York, celebrities in New York, Nashville, Beverly Hills.
Monica or Ms. Adams. How's that
yes,
sound?
that sounds great.
All right, one more designer area.
Look at these. These are Chanel, Jimmy Choo, Prada, Gucci. We have everything from Steve Madden boots to Chanel boots.
They're going to love what you come back with.
Yes.
Hope you can join us, by the way. November 21st, we will be doing another show live from the Vault. It's going to be a blast hanging with Diana, and then we'll be picking some new models. We'll be talking about that for you coming up shortly. All right, I just mentioned that new hot tubs are in. This is at Just Pools, the pool and spa specialist. They have a huge one there. That's it right there. 9 people fit in that hot tub. Others, 6 people, 5 people. But this is the thing that we talk about. Don't look at that as a luxury purchase. Look at that as a therapeutic purchase. They're beautiful. In fact, some of them that I even took in the videos yesterday are already sold because people were waiting for those. This really beautiful gray marbling, kind of a chocolate caramel marbling, obviously the pearl white. So if you've been thinking about it for a while and you're like, all right, I want to support those that support the show that I walk and listen to every morning. Well, please do so. Just Pools, the pool and spa specialist. And I did go and check out the shelving because they have 50% off right now And it's again, until it lasts, all those fun toys, the noodles, the pool flotation, all that, the things for you and for the kids, and then the hot tubs. Right now, just getting more and more and more into Just Pools. They're located on the West Outer Road in Arnold. If you haven't been, please go by. Say hi to Madonna and Shannon and Michelle, Tommy. The staff will take care of you for sure. Just Pools, the pool and spa specialist. It is 7:26, excuse me. Welcome back. The Real Monica Adams Show. We're on Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, and Rumble. So I'm going to pop over to all of our platforms. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop those in for us. We're visiting from here to Sicily, Italy. Michelle Harman is there. Just been there. How many days have you been there now, Michelle?
This is day 6, 7. I'm losing track.
You got there what, on Friday?
Yes.
Okay, so day 6.
Day 7.
So she's going to show a little background for us. Yeah, that's pretty. So what are you overlooking right now?
So this is the Ionic Sea. This is
Okay.
actually my hotel room.
Oh, wow. And then she sent me a picture also, which I don't have to show, unfortunately, but she was showing me the workout area. Was it just those 2 pieces?
There was 4 pieces. and they're more like sculptures. Every time they had this outdoor gym, and I'm like, oh, I'm really excited. And I go and I'm like, this is it.
Well, it was what? It was an elliptical trainer. I saw a stretching piece. At least I saw those 2. But you know what? The view, though, that you had was stunning. So I don't think you can complain.
Yesterday, it was amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So we're talking about you traveling, and you do this a lot. Let me bring the picture up of you and your mama. So you and your mom travel a lot together. It's obviously not just the 2 of you. You've got a big group, and you do this regularly. You went to Portugal, you went to Malta, now obviously in Sicily, and these start getting planned pretty far out. The group you have this time around, how many people are there with you?
We have 18 in our group, and then we were joined by another 14 other people who are not necessarily with our group, but they are part of the tour.
Wow.
We've been making new friends.
Yeah, well, that happens all the time, or it should, by the way, right? We always talking about, talking to other people, learning different cultures. It's always very fascinating to do so. Okay, so since you've done this a lot, and we'll go back to some comments of people that are dropping some comments in, how difficult is it to make everybody happy in a large group like that?
It's very difficult. And most of them are all women. There are a couple couples that are with the other half of the group, but it's older women, and we're talking late 60s, 70s, even 80s. We have an 85-year-old woman who's with us, who's not with our group, but we've kind of adopted her as well. She's fantastic. She's in phenomenal shape. But it is difficult because you've got these women, and they're very strongly opinionated. So they're upset if something's just not right, or the tour deviates from what was originally planned because something is closed or unexpectedly not available. Like we were supposed to go to a jewelry store, and it was closed that day. So everyone was all up in arms, grumble. But the fact that we got back to the hotel earlier, we got to hang out by this beautiful hotel. We had some sparkling wine instead and just enjoyed the view. So we made the best of it. But we also have people who aren't necessarily the easiest to travel with. They make things difficult. They're not positive.
Yeah.
We also have 4 individuals that are heavy smokers who are not with our group, but with the other group, and have mobility issues. And there's a lot of walking with these tours, and they were complaining a lot about we were walking too fast when really we were not walking too fast. Some of the women's their Apple Watches were saying, "Are you done working out?" Because we were like,
"Are you moving?"
No, we're just waiting for everybody else to shuffle up behind us. There's a lot of stairs, a lot of slopes. I mean, as you can see, we are so high up, and it's crazy how the buses go through these hairpin turns to get up, and we're still not at the highest point of this particular part of Sicily. So that's been a struggle, dealing with those different personalities, dealing with the different disabilities. The travel group has really put together a nice schedule, a nice itinerary. And on the most part, everyone has been really, really great to travel with.
And you've talked about in the past traveling with your mom, and then all of these ladies, again, all different ages, that you feel like you're wrangling up a gaggle, trying to keep them all together.
They're my ducklings. I'm like, oh, this one dropped a passport. This one dropped her bus ticket. This one's over here taking pictures. It's not time to take pictures. We're losing the group. Or this off shopping. And fortunately, our guide, she has this long pole with a rainbow pinwheel on it.
Yeah.
And especially when we're in the open air market. I mean, we lost so many people. They're like, oh, snails. Oh, peanuts. Oh, and I'm like, we have to catch up with the pinwheel. Like, come on.
So for all of you that are watching, or again, I mentioned we've got one lady. I don't know if Karen's on right now. Karen's a travel agent. There's probably a lot of you that are. If you're the travel agent, how difficult is it for you? Because I just know I made plans for my mom years ago, trying to get her airfare booked and this hotel booked, and then they're all giving me their credit cards. I have such mad respect for travel agents because it definitely takes you to a level of stress. And then you've got 20, 30, 40 people you're trying to put together. You're trying to keep them all safe. As Michelle's saying, and I hope you hear this in the message, that there's got to be a lot of empathy for those people that are younger, right? You think maybe 20-year-old or a 30-year-old or a 40-year-old, 50-year-olds, and then you've got 60, 70, 80-year-olds. Everybody's trying to come together, which I think is a beautiful thing, right? You want to do that whole pulling the generations together, but you got to have empathy. You got to have patience. You got to slow down. If you don't have that, then you shouldn't be, don't you agree? You shouldn't be going together with a group.
Yeah, definitely. And just, the meals themselves, the travel agents have to plan your meals. We have breakfast, lunch, and dinner pretty much planned every single day. And they make sure that we have enough groups, groups of tables together, and we try to mix it up and sitting with different people. But, there's some that you're just not jiving with, and you're like, by them, because they're just, not my people.
Not my people. And that's okay, right?
Yeah.
It's okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
I was stuck next to them on the plane from Rome to to Sicily, and and the poor gentleman, he's obviously he's got some issues with walking, and he's shuffling into the seat, and he sits down on his seatbelt, and his companion was not helping. I had to root underneath his butt to find his seatbelt. Just it was awful.
You're getting very close.
It was the worst hour and a half of my life. It was just the entire time. And I'm like, oh no, they're our group.
You're being tested. You're being tested. If you're just tuning in, 7:33, visiting in Sicily. Again, a beautiful thing that we can do when we talk about being booked. It doesn't have to be in Missouri, Illinois. It can be throughout our United States. We just came to you just a few weeks ago from Cabo San Lucas. Now we're in Sicily, Italy. It is my hope that when I am getting into Turin, Italy on the 11th of November, that I'll be able to check in. Obviously, it depends on the Wi-Fi, but the plans are in place right now for us to come to you live. Always want to thank the people back home here, right? You don't have animals, but it's a big deal when you are trying to say, who's going to watch the dogs? And a lot of people are like, well, why don't, hey, Monica, you've got this collaboration with Yuppie Puppy. Yeah, that'd be great. But Tessa's not having it. We all saw the video of Tessa, and I'm like, I'm not doing that to Jessica. So forget it. Let's just keep them here. So thank you to our family and friends who stay right here at the house so they can stay calm. I want to thank Janice over the last few months, also Jim's sister, Laura. I mean, that takes so much off your plate that you can actually let go, Michelle, and you can enjoy your time. I mean, for all of you that have kids, it's the same thing. Like, who's going to watch the kids because we want to go off and travel? It's always one thing on your plate that once you've got that taken care of, you can start to actually be on vacation. Otherwise, you're sitting there worrying about that, right?
There is one couple here, an older couple here, that my mom recognized. They had been on the same tour group 10 years ago in Tuscany. Huh. And my mom remembered this couple because they were waiting to get the call that they were going to become grandparents. Aww. So it was like a really big deal. And they're not with our group, but they're with the other half of the non-group. And so it's like, oh my gosh, haven't seen you in 10 years. And they said, we haven't traveled since that trip because they are the secondary caregivers for the grandchildren.
Yep.
So this is like, finally, the kids are grown up. It's getting easier for the parents. They don't need as much help. So this is finally their time that they can get away and enjoy it. And they've been having a blast. They're so cute.
Well, that's a good point because again, you've got kids and then you become empty nesters. And at that point, a lot of people start to say, well, now I really want to travel. And then all of a sudden grandkids come along and then it's like, okay, go back. Now we've got to watch so that our kids can enjoy. Yeah, it's that concept. But the thing that we're trying to stress is it's important for you to get away. It's, you look at other countries, they have holiday. And I mentioned this before, Michelle, probably a couple months ago. Those holidays, which would be our vacations, are like 3 months sometimes. I remember going to Australia and they said, oh, where are you from? Told them. They said, how much vacation do you get? And I think at the time it was like 4 weeks. And they said, 4 weeks for the entire year? And I said, yeah. And they go, oh, we get 3 months for holiday. And I said, first of all, I just want to change it to say holiday because it just sounds better. But 3 months, right? We're lucky if we get a week or two after about 5 years working someplace. That's why you can go out on your own and be your own boss. What'd you say?
Their maternity leave is so much longer too.
Yep. And then, well, I think we started doing that in the US, but men get a chance to have the paternity leave, which I think is important because moms need help longer than just a week or two. Let's see. Julie says, I'm not sure I'd have the patience for that. Yes, trying to wrangle everybody together. I saw something from Rose earlier, or Linda, sorry. Linda says, yes, in every town, the streets were very narrow, cobblestone streets, buildings and architecture is amazing. We also went to a farmer's market in my son's town. It was huge. They have it every Saturday, lots of fresh food. Anything you want, they have it. She said that she could live there. So have you been to France also?
No, that's next year.
Oh, okay. So you're going to Paris with your mom. Is that right?
We're going to do a river cruise. And so we're going to go through Normandy and Paris and that route. So that'll be next August.
Next August. So river cruises are the one thing that I keep hearing from a lot of people. They talk about, if you've never been on a cruise, Monica, that you would probably like to do a river cruise just to kind of introduce. I've never been on a cruise before. Never have we been into Europe, period. So that's why this is such a big deal, to be able to do a couple things. Obviously, you all know that I'm a foodie, but I'm also very big into fashion. So that's why. What'd you say?
Will love the shopping.
Yeah, well, we tacked on Milan for me. But Jim, I stressed to him, I said, look, this isn't just going to be a shopping trip for the first 4 days. There's going to be a lot of beautiful architecture. And he goes, all right. He goes, well, just go with me on that. Like if I start to ramble and start to talk about, do you understand this is centuries old? Do you understand the people who've been here before us? And I said, I'll do that. But I also need you to do me a favor and be okay with me getting excited and geeking out about this fashion mecca in Milan. So that's that's the balance in life we need.
Well, it's a good blend. I'm not, sure about France, but I'm sure it's similar. But you can get a mix of both, because where I was earlier trying to get a Wi-Fi signal, and then I had to run like 3 blocks to get to the hotel so I could get a better signal for you. Where I was the town center of Taormina, and it is the blend of the old architecture.
Yep.
But they're like these very modern shopping areas. So like you have like the really high end fashion shoes. Oh my gosh, you would have loved it. Oh my gosh, they had these double monk strap shoes. Just gorgeous. But so it's a nice blend. So you're walking through the streets and you get a little of both. You get your fashion and you get your architecture and gelato.
Well, Gelato, this is what's funny, because the people that we will be going with in just a few weeks, she's sending everybody the final itinerary. She's sending, here's suggestions for what you should pack. And again, we don't have anywhere near the group that you have. I think it's very, very private. There's 10 people, I think, that are going. They are going 2 weeks in Tuscany and then 2 weeks in the Piemonte or Piedmont region. So 4 weeks, the Stone Soup Cottage Le Champ de Flore is closed as they go and take people on this really high-end luxury travel, which we will be collaborating with them. I'm super excited for this and what will be coming in next year and in the coming years, where we combine, I teased it a little bit yesterday, we combine the whole aspect of wellness, taking care of you, mind, body, spirit, all the things that you want in self-love and self-care. And then they take care of your bellies. They will do the culinary side, which I'm excited about. But she was sending me a message yesterday, Michelle, and she goes, okay, I'm going to send packing ideas. And I know, and she capitalized, you love your fashion, but please listen to me when I tell you, do not bring narrow heels. And I said, I won't. And it's, by the way, because Michelle's telling us about how beautiful the weather is there, but we will be in a different area of Italy. So it's actually going to be colder. And I was like, well, I'm going to be covered up. I'm going to be layered up. I can't get cute.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's the cobblestones, and streets aren't necessarily paved. The sidewalks aren't necessarily maintained.
Yeah.
Several of the older ladies actually brought walking sticks.
Oh.
Helps them with their stability. But yeah, it's all of a sudden there's like a tree planter right in the middle of your sidewalk, and you have to kind of dance that, and then you have to dodge the scooters and all of the truck drivers and everything. So it's not smart to be wearing heels.
Well, again, and since we're going to be layered up and probably have coats on and sweaters on, I'll be having cute boots, which will work very well on cobblestone. So still got to pull my fashion and do it. All right, if you're just tuning in, and feel free to ask Michelle any questions if you've never been to Italy. You want to ask specifically about Sicily. There we go. Yep, she's got smart shoes on.
My sneakers. I got my leather sneakers.
My husband's family, his mother's side, is from the area where Michelle is right now. So I'm sure he's going to be very excited to see these pictures and come back and have breakfast with her to hear about where his family is from. So we're going to take a quick break. I hope I didn't just lose her. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll visit more. We'll look at some of your comments and questions. If you've been to Italy before, tell me and her, where are the best places that you've been in Italy or other areas of Europe? And again, what are you up against when you travel with a spouse, with a parent, with a child, with big groups? We're talking about all that today on The Real Monica Adams Show.
Welcome to the mobile Monica version of The Real Monica Adams Show at my favorite restaurant.
There's something about a coffee house that's just very warm and welcoming.
Gives you that sense of community.
What are you most proud of since you've opened?
I cry easily. I'm thankful for everybody here.
You opened the door during the middle of the pandemic. You got the best Italian restaurant in the United States. Here in St. Louis, you put us on the map.
Does it scare you? Do you go through fear?
Terrifying.
So how do you get past the fear?
We find something to laugh about.
I'm excited to announce my all-new mattress topper. In the times we're in, I wanted to bring you the best affordable mattress topper ever. So I took my two best technologies and combined them to make the ultimate mattress topper. And now you can get it for as low as $69.98. Queen size, only $99.98. It all starts with my famous MyPillow foam that provides you that overall full body support. Second is the individual comfort supports that give you an amazing custom sleep experience. It's like it's made specifically for you. The queen size alone has over 14,000 comfort supports. This is the perfect mattress topper to improve any bed. New bed, old bed, your guest beds. Get them for every bedroom in your house. Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the all-new My Mattress Topper for as low as $69.98. Queen size, only $99.98. Don't delay, order today.
We want to thank all of our incredible sponsors we've been talking about over the last year and a half. And one of the newer ones is Elemental Aesthetics. Have you been there yet? 425 North New Ballas in that suite 206. Jennifer Warman Bloss will actually be back on with us next Wednesday. And I believe Michelle's going to join us because that's what Jennifer wanted to talk about, this treatment called Agnes. We'll talk to Michelle about that a little bit, doing some before and after pictures. But the after, really the true after, Michelle was saying, is probably going to take a few months as you see that really unfold. So one of the things I've been there for was a beautiful facial. And a lot of times when you book something, you think, okay, I'm going to set up this facial or that facial. She wants you, if you want to, you can do that, and you can book it on your own online. Go to elementalaesthetics.com to do so, or just come in and let her feel and see what's going on with the face, and she'll help you out with that. Again, Elemental Aesthetics, their phone number is 314-279-6069. So all of the top lasers, all of the top treatments in that industry. She also has this really cool salt room that I've been mentioning, where they pump in salt, and what that does. We think about the mineral aspect of life and why people are drawn to different aspects of the world to get certain minerals. They have that they will actually pump in for you in this room to help you with many facets of the body, including what happens with the skin. Red light therapy, purple therapy, blue. You can change the pictures around. So many things, including even getting your nails done. All of this exists for you, so why go anywhere else? It's all in one place. Elemental Aesthetics. One more time, it's 425 North New Ballas Road. And say how much you love that she is a part of the Real Monica Adams Show. Thank you, Jennifer. Can't wait to see you next week. All right, if you're just tuning in, we got about 10 minutes left in the show today. We've been visiting with Michelle Harman in Sicily, Italy. Michelle, you're going to join us next Wednesday, too, in case you didn't know that, to talk about Agnes, which I still want to know why it's called Agnes.
Yeah. I don't know. I tried to look it up online to try and find more information, and I couldn't. That's just.
I think
I don't know. It must be someone's grandmother.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It sounds like it with the name. We'll have to ask Jennifer if she knows why. But talking about a lot of cool different treatments, and she said she loved it because Michelle came in the way I suggested. Again, no makeup on, just come in and let me feel and see what's going on. Do a facial. Then she recommended a few things, and she's like, Michelle was all in and said, "Let's just do it," and she loved that.
Yes, I'm fearless. Well, my skin is very resilient. So I'm fortunate. You can pretty much pour acid on my face and I'll be fine.
All right. Well, we're going to talk
I would not recommend that.
We'll talk about that next Wednesday. Okay, so in our final 10 minutes, again, visiting in Sicily, Italy. And thank you for taking some time. I hope you've got, well, I'm sure you've got a packed plate probably over the next few days. Are you there through Friday or Friday? Friday to Friday. Okay.
We have one more day tomorrow, and then we fly out the following day.
Okay. So what's on tap?
Let Tia know that I am visiting Messina tomorrow. That is where her family is from.
Oh, very cool. So, all right, Tia, you'll have to see this later.
Yeah.
What is still on tap for you for the next few days?
So today was our free day.
Okay.
And there's a dog downstairs.
You got a dog. You're going to make my dog start barking.
We're going to visit Messina tomorrow, but only a half day. We're going to get back kind of early and have an early dinner because we have to be on the bus at 4 a.m. to head back.
Wow.
So that's going to be a long day.
How much driving have you done? Because there's always so much to see and travel.
Every day we have driven, I'd say 45 minutes to an hour and a half to get to where we were going.
Okay.
So a little bit of bus time.
Well, but that's the thing. If you want to see a lot, you have to do that.
Of course. Yeah.
One of the things that Jim said that he's not a fan of, and this is what happened when we were in Australia and going to New Zealand, you're flying from here, you're getting into Australia, and then you leave Australia right away to go to New Zealand. And then you're there and you are unpacking, and then you're going back to Sydney and you're staying at a place for a couple of days. And then you're unpacking and packing again. And he's like, that's the only thing that I don't like. And I said, well, you know what? You just have to smile and appreciate the fact that you're in a whole nother country, 24 hours away in the travel time. How else are you going to see all of it? You've got to do that.
Right.
So what would you recommend
to
someone
not all
who's
trips
never
like
done that?
that?
Huh?
Fortunately, the trips that we've done, Portugal, Malta, and this one, we've been in one hotel, which is nice. So you can unpack everything, and then they just bus you wherever. But we've had some days where we had a short day and we were back at the hotel and we were able to walk around because there is so much around this immediate area. We actually took the gondolas down one day, and that's when we went to the Isla Bella and went swimming. So we've had some free time. So it hasn't always been like, go, tour.
That's good.
Which has been nice. Yeah. So we really get to take in what we want to. If we want to go back and see something that we saw earlier and didn't get to visit as much, everything's fairly close.
Well, you need that because it's one thing to be with a group, but especially when you don't know the dynamics of the people and the personalities that you're with and you're on a tour group, you suddenly go, I just need a break. We met a couple from Canada that was in Cabo with us, and the girl was so funny. She met us at a mixology class, and she's like, you know what? I love you too. I just want to hang with you. And she's like, but I think our group would probably be really mad because we just told them we needed some alone time. And she's like, but now I want your alone time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey,
And this trip, I haven't been, I'm not rooming with my mom this trip.
well, you're not.
So she and I haven't been really hanging a whole lot. So a couple times today we were like, okay, let's lose these people. And so she and I would like go take off down another little alleyway and find something else to look at. Um, so we just haven't had much time. So I'm glad that I'm going to spend a few days with her in New Hampshire when I get back before I come back.
Right. That's very smart of you to do that instead of just rushing back home. And that's the thing we always talk about, having to take a vacation from the vacation sometimes, right? Instead of, I'm doing that, by the way. You'll be very proud of me. When we come back from Italy, I am not going immediately back to the studio the next morning. Jim goes, no, not this time. Because when I know, can you believe it? What?
No, I'll believe it when I see it.
I promise you. Let me just go ahead and set that up. So in November, when Jim and I go to Italy, we're going to have some of our favorite shows that you'll be seeing that some of you have seen, or a lot of you, since our audience keeps growing, a lot of you have probably never seen before. And each person I meet, like on a daily basis, is like, you have 400 shows. I need to play catch up. Yes, we'll be playing some of those for you. And I'm going to add an extra one on at the end of the trip. So November 18th, I won't be in studio. I'm telling you right now, we're going to air another show so that I'll have a little time to take a break and get back into the swing of things. So let's talk about you and your mom. How many trips have you two taken together?
Oh gosh, since counting Cabo, I mean, she brought me to London. We did London, England. That was my 30th. Then I've been up to New Hampshire, and we've gone up to Maine, Vermont, Cape Cod. I mean, we've done several trips, and then she's been to Cabo twice, I believe. And then we did Portugal, Malta, and then one. So I'd say at least a dozen.
Right. So tell people that, and again, I don't know if younger generation think about it because they're going off with their friends. They're in their 20s, they're in their 30s. Oh, I'm traveling with friends. And then when you get into your 30s and you're married and you want to take your first break after having a kid, you get with younger couples. But talk about the importance, especially as our parents age, about bonding with them and doing exactly what you're doing and traveling together.
Well, I can honestly say when I was 30 and we went to London, she drove me back. It's just because, I had been away from home for so long. I never went back home after college. We just kind of went our separate ways, and our personalities are so much alike that it's very, very difficult at times. And she wanted to go and see everything and I was like, no, I wanted to chill. I wanted to relax more. And she's like, we gotta go see this museum and go to this museum and go to here. And I was like, I can't. Now, fast forward 20 something years, it's like, okay, I'm appreciating it more.
Yep.
Spending the time with her. I have more patience now because I do understand our relationship because we are so much alike. But back then it was like, oh my gosh, I'm so annoyed. Now I'm like, okay, this is precious.
Well, there you go. And that's a great word to use, right? Precious, appreciation. We have to have empathy. And by the way, we need that. They did so much for us when we were born in the early years. Those of you that parents get it. It's like, right, the cycle of life of, all right, I look at, you can look at your daughters and your sons and say, oh, are they feeling the same way? Most likely. It's just that cycle. And so if we can get all of you that are younger, we've got a group that work with us that are in their young 20s, mid 20s. If we can get to that generation and make you understand the importance of it, even if it's a short little staycation or it's a little getaway, just start sprinkling it in and appreciate it and be present. Understand that there are a lot of people that would give anything to be able to travel with a parent that obviously is no longer here, right? I don't know. And I started to think about that. If I had I don't think I ever had a vacation with just my dad, me and my dad only. Obviously, he died when I was 24, but he took us, and appreciate these things, kids. If they take you on a vacation, it's a big deal, right? They're taking their hard-earned money. They're taking you together with the family. We would go to Florida every year. I love that. I'll never forget that as a family unit. But I'm one of those people to say how cool it would have been for me to have taken my dad to Cabo. So even though he shows up, and yesterday, oh, Michelle, I can't wait for you to see yesterday's show. No, it was
vacations. He wasn't invited.
He always shows up in Cabo. You've got to watch when you get a chance yesterday's show, because we had a girl who did tarot card readings, and it will blow your mind. She knew my dad was in studio. She's like, he's here right now, by the way. I'm like, what? And she talked about why I heard him in Cabo 2 years ago. There's a real thing about hearing the audible side of it, which is mind-blowing. Yeah. Just wait till you see that show. Good show for any of you that didn't see it. All right, before we wrap up with Michelle and let her enjoy her trip, Linda said we rented a car for the majority of our trip, just 4 of us. Luckily, my brother-in-law could speak and read French pretty good, and Google Maps were our lifeline. That was the last part I was going to ask. Stephanie said, thank you, Michelle. Enjoy your trip. Love Italy. We took a tour. We did 9 countries. Oh, my Lord. 9 countries in 3 weeks. We had a blast. We drank all the wine at one of our hotels. We stayed at Tuscany, was my favorite in Italy. Linda, one thing I noticed was how clean the towns were. No trash on the streets or the sidewalks. They take littering very serious. Love that. And yes, comfortable shoes a must. The cobblestones are not even. Good morning to Tony. My sister and her husband love the river cruises in Europe. All right. I don't think I missed anybody else, but oh my gosh, what was I just going to ask you? Oh yeah, language. So when you are in Italy or when you are in France, do you not agree that, to me, it's almost egotistical to think that you travel into another country and think that they should cater to you. Just if you even show an ounce of trying, don't you think that you see a little bit more kindness?
Definitely. I always try to at least learn the basics.
Yep.
How much? One more.
Where's the bathroom?
Where's the toilet? And thank you. Thank you goes a long way.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, what are you most excited about in your next few days before you head back to New Hampshire and head back to St. Louis?
Well, I think I already experienced the one that I was really forward to, which was climbing Mount Etna. That was amazing.
Good.
That was absolutely. So that is and oh my gosh, I was filthy. I was so filthy when I was done that walk because the whole hillside. So it was the eruption of 2001 is what I was climbing on, that crater. Yep. There's 3 or 4 craters in all. That are active, and there's 300 others that have blown but then sealed up and then they never erupt again. So this thing's very active, and you can see it. It's smoking constantly, and at night you can see it glowing. So that's what I wanted to do. But climbing down, it was sooty soil, like real fine black soil, and it got through my shoes and my socks. My toes were black. It was so gross. It was so gross, but I did it, and it was really, really cool. I loved it.
I'm so happy for you, and we miss you. We look forward to having you back and hearing more about it, and just thrilled again that you get an opportunity to do these things and take it all in and enjoy it.
Yes. Well, thanks for being patient with me. I know it took me a while to get my Wi-Fi going.
It's okay. It's okay. Hey.
Crazy. Hopefully I'll be in on Tuesday.
Say it again.
I'm hoping to be there on Tuesday so I can see Steve.
Oh, yeah. So I don't know if you heard, I've dropped it in a couple of times, but Steve Ewing, who from The Urge, from Steve's Hot Dogs, he is coming in and he'll be visiting with us as we do a recap of him performing at the Yuppie Puppy Gala, which is this coming Saturday. Sorry you'll miss it, but there's some incredible items, by the way. They sent me last night. There's a Costa Rica trip. We are actually, for those of you that are coming, we are going to be auctioning off an experience to be on the show. So it's a great opportunity to showcase a business or an event. Yep. Festivals, bring the kids along, do a whole family affair. So many other things. There's a bourbon trail trip that they have. And Jessica is donating a live auction item where it's an experience to truly get into the life of a rescuer and to see firsthand what they go through. Yes. Yeah, which is pretty amazing. All right, Michelle, you go enjoy time with your mother, with your friends, and with these new group of friends, and have patience with the ones that are maybe not your people, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'll never
Right.
forget. Well, good luck with the gala. I hope you raise a ton of money for them.
We will. Absolutely. I can't wait for that. So again, these are the things that we can do with you. Sicily, Italy is where Michelle is enjoying her time away. Have a great time, my friend. Be safe, and we'll see you back next week.
Ciao, Bella.
Monica show, it's very informational, but more importantly, inspirational.
People such as myself and others can come out and talk about real issues that are taking place in our communities.
These are amazing, really, really important topics that don't get discussed enough.
It really just promotes people who are making change and doing good in their lives.
And the good and the goodness of life is what it's all about for us. We're going to read from Jesus Listens in just a moment, but let me give you some rundown of things that are coming up on the show, and also remind you that on Thursdays at 8 a.m., we drop a new audio podcast. So a lot of people said, oh, I love to get in the car or go for a walk, take the dogs for a walk, go out on a bike ride. I love to listen to audio shows. If you are on a bike, by the way, please do us a favor, have just one of the earbuds in, or if you're out on a run, make sure you have one ear open. Obviously, it's from the safety aspect. We talked about that a while back. But yes, on Thursdays at 8 a.m. on all of the audio podcast platforms. Be sure to listen to those, because Hannah Ledford does a really great job getting all those edited up for you. She is doing our moderating this morning as well. So tomorrow, and this is what I always want to ask you, do you have topics or guests that you would like us to have on the show? Because I want that for you. I want you to say, oh my gosh, this person would be great on your show, Monica. And it really runs the gamut from entertainment to lifestyle to great businesses. If you know somebody that wants to be a part of the show from a sponsorship aspect, email me at that email address as well. info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. And I had about an hour and a half talk last night with my friend Dot, and she's like, oh my gosh, there are so many things that I would love to see you do, and places that I would love to see you speak at, etc. Great. One of the things I mentioned to her last night is I want to get my community involved a little bit more. You know, for the last several months, we said, if you have someone that books a Mobile Monica or becomes a sponsor of the show, that we were giving you $100 in Monica merchandise, jackets, journals, t-shirts, mugs, right? The Know Your Value mugs that we drink out of with the coffee and the tea. We've been doing that. But as we move forward, I know how important it is for everybody to make actual money. So how about this? How about we give you cold, hard $150 cash? That's going to come your way if you find a business that wants to be a part of the show and book us to do a Mobile Monica. What does that look like? We take the show and we are live from their businesses. There are so many of those that we have done over the last year and a half. And I mean, all over the US, we can even do it in other countries and come to you live. Again, she's 7 hours from where we are right now. So it was 2:00 in the afternoon when Michelle joined us in Sicily. So it doesn't have to be just in our area, but we're going to give you $150. Why not? Let's have you make money. My interns make money. My actual team make money. That's something we came up with last night. That's going to go to you if somebody books a Mobile Monica. So this is where we're going to have the community working together, and you literally will become a part of our team. So breaking news for you. That's exciting. So why don't you all start going and shooting me emails? If that happens, that's how we are going to reward you. And if you haven't seen all the different places that we've been, here's just an example.
One of our things we always say is we want everybody to leave with a smile.
Oh, and trust me, they do. I've seen a lot of smiles here today. There's so many levels of why you will love these ladies, but giving back to the community, supporting the community, collaborating with other businesses.
Base pace. Now we give parameters here. Power walkers generally use incline. Yeah, I know.
Go, girls, go!
Because you're not only getting some great local roasted coffee, you're getting good people.
Good people is what it's about. And by the way, that person who turned up their nose, karma is that you know what.
Everyone needs to be kind. And it starts really with the adults. And then it goes down because we're the ones that are instilling this in our children, in our families. and everything thereafter.
We are live on location, and this is the really cool thing. This is exactly what we can do from your business. We call it Mobile Monica. You know, I'm always on the move.
There you go. So, I mean, literally, we can look at restaurants and festivals and businesses. We're getting ready to get into the holidays. And last year, I can't believe it's already been a year. Do you remember for 6 straight weeks, we were broadcasting from Mark Anthony's in Kirkwood and Christopher's in Kirkwood? I know so many of you loved those shows. So I reached out to Mark. I'm just going to manifest it and put it out there and said, would you like to do that again? But I would love to go and showcase other really cool stores as you're all out shopping for yourself or for your family, for your kiddos. Why don't we do a show live from there? So again, start getting really creative. Start thinking about where you would like to see our show. If you have connections to the owners, general managers, etc., then link us together with those. We will put it all together. Tess is excited about it. We want to do some more animal shows. Sure. Positive Talk Time, by the way, not tomorrow. It will be next Thursday as we will do a wrap up of the big gala that's coming up this weekend at Whitmore Country Club. Tessa, be a good girl. So on the 24th, I believe. On the 24th, we will do our Positive Talk Time with Jessica Cook, doing our wrap up of just how great the gala is, how much money we raised, etc. Yes, so that'll be on the 24th. Our next Wet Your Whistle, by the way. So you might even come up with an idea of a really cool segment that we start. Wet Your Whistle Wednesday will be on Wednesday the 23rd. So not tonight with Chuck Gillentine. We will pause again. There are 5 Wednesdays, by the way, in this month. So we're going to do next Wednesday, Wet Your Whistle. Next Thursday, Positive Talk Time. We do, though, have on tap this Friday Adam Nimoy, Leonard Nimoy's son. And we're going to talk to him. I did not know. Michelle was just talking about, having stressors in life and finding your way back to a good relationship when maybe you didn't have the greatest relationship with your dad or with your mom, etc. Well, we're going to be talking with Adam Nimoy, and he's going to discuss some stressors, I guess, that actually took place with his very popular father, Leonard Nimoy. So we're going to talk to Adam on Friday morning. Looking forward to that. And then we get into next week. And as Michelle had mentioned, Steve Ewing will be on with us. I'm hoping he'll play a little bit for us. He was with The Urge, the band The Urge, and then now owns multiple locations here in St. Louis of Steve's Hot Dogs. Julie says she can't wait for Saturday. We're going to see a lot of the dogs up for adoption there. Thanks for the pictures and videos, Michelle. I think that will go on my bucket list to go to Sicily. In France, everyone spoke English, but yes, learn the basics. They love that. Linda, I'd love to know, because people say that the people in France were rude, and I don't like listening to anybody. I just like to experience on my own. They're not going to keep me from going to France, even though I've heard that a lot. Thank you, Michelle. So interesting, and enjoy. We rented a car for the majority of our trip, just 4 of us. Luckily, my brother-in-law could speak and read French pretty good. Google Maps, she said, was the lifeline. Yeah, I imagine. Sean Neary. Hi, Dr. Sean. That looks amazing, Michelle. Hope you're having a blast. And Richard, last comment, says, good morning, Michelle. I definitely have to go back and look at this. I got up a little late this morning. No problem. Yeah, it wasn't a deer, Richard. I think she heard me rocking in the chair. Everybody, I hope you have a great one today. We're going to end with a little Jesus listens, and we all need to listen a little bit better in life, don't we? We need to be a little bit more focused. So today, October 16th, okay, Jesus listens, and this is from Sarah Young. Thank you to Marilyn for giving us this book. My Creator, as I grow increasingly aware of your presence, I find it easier to discern the way I should go. This is one of the practical benefits of living close to you. Instead of wondering what's on the road ahead or worrying about what I should do if or when, I can concentrate on staying in communication with you. Once I actually arrive at a choice point, I can trust you to show me which direction I should go. I confess that sometimes I get so preoccupied with future plans and decisions that I fail to see the choices that I need to make now. Without really thinking, I just go through the day on autopilot. Yep, slow down a little bit. When I live this way for a while, dullness starts to creep into my life. I sleepwalk through my days, following well-worn paths of routine. You, the creator of the universe, are the most creative being imaginable. I'm thankful that you don't leave me circling in deeply rutted paths. Instead, you lead me along fresh trails of adventure, revealing to me things I didn't know. Help me stay in communication with you, following your guiding presence. In your breathtaking name, Jesus, amen. And again, don't you think it's always ironic or eerie that these readings, never knowing what they're going to say, always seem to tie in to our show. We're talking about travel and adventure today. It was right with that. Linda said, I did not experience any rude French people. Boom. See, I'm going to trust you then, and I'm going to put that on my bucket list very soon. Well, it's 10 after 8. I'm going to wrap things up and let you go enjoy the day. Again, sweaters, jackets, bundle up. It is going to get into the low 60s, so it's going to be a pretty afternoon, but definitely a wake-up call and a little bit colder as you get ready to step out today. I hope you have a beautiful one. We'll be back with you tomorrow. We haven't done a lot of fitness lately, so let's do some motivation, inspiration together. Let's talk about what's struggling with you mentally, physically, spiritually. I'm going to inspire tomorrow. It's just going to be you and I together, and then Adam Nimoy, again, joining us on Friday as we wrap up the week and head into the big Yuppie Puppy Gala weekend. I can't wait for that for sure. All right, everybody, say it all the time. Go out, be anything you want to be in this world. Truly believe in yourself, but remember to always be kind.